Welcome to a special edition of Hits, Cuts, and Bruises. If you're moving backwards, it's probably cuts, bruises, and hits, or just scrambled in a way. But I definitely want to just say we're taking over this bit. You don't see our parents around at all. They took the day off, so you got us. You stuck. So I'll let Tori, start it off. Introduce yourself.
I'm Tori. I come from Hits, also known as Timo, DJ Timo, and yeah.
My name is Yasmin, and I'm also DJ Timo's child.
All right. I'm Devin, product of El Spanko, and
my name is Laurie. I'm Cut's daughter.
My name is Keon. I'm Ken's favorite kid.
And welcome to, a special edition of Hits, Cuts, and Bruises. So yeah, you guys want to start it off then?
So let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. What are we talking about? Let's talk about. All right. So I heard about you, and I heard
that
you
sounds
like
terrifying.
Let's talk about it.
Don't put him on the spot.
I'm sorry. I put you on the spot.
No, that's fine. That's okay.
Let's tell me what you know. Let me pick your brain.
As far as like what are we?
Let's talk about the president right now. How do you feel about him?
I have no expectation for any politician
No.
at all. If you go in with expectations, that's how you get disappointed.
Do you think he did anything good for us?
Yeah.
Like what?
That's it. That's all I think he does normal good things in a way that's not like revolutionary. He'll do something like add some public infrastructure public infrastructure like projects. Like that's cool. All right. And it's just like I think a lot of change comes from your local politician, whoever that may be. There's not going to be as much change coming from the top because he's just going to do whatever the entire country already wants, whatever that may be. And then that's kind of what that is. But like I definitely say pay attention more closer to your local politicians because that's also
very
who
true.
you can hold accountable. We can run up on them and be like, hey, you went forward with that drilling near our springs, and now we can't go play in the springs. You can run up on them and say that
Yeah.
rather than you can't run up on the president. You'll die.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just that bit of a difference.
Nah, that's real actually, because I'm still waiting for him to put me on a list to get my student loans paid for.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's like super big that he's doing. But then again, it's just taking like a process, like everything America does. But I definitely agree with you with saying like our local politicians, like, because they're more tangible. You can reach them, a little faster. Probably not as busy as the president of the United States, but I feel like if we take a certain avenue, we're able to push through and get there.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even into politics like that. That's just never been anything I've been interested in. But y'all made some valid points though. Yeah.
I know my mom, when it's time to vote, my mom be like, I wrote on this paper, this is what you gonna vote for, and go up there and do it. I'm like, all right, but sometimes I be thinking like, shoot, maybe I need to think about this. She say, nah, you vote for who I said vote for. So how do we learn about our politicians and all this other stuff? What are the steps that we should take when we're voting?
For me, what I really like to do, there's like tons of websites that will tell you about like key issues.
Yeah.
So there's like certain issues that I'm like, I know 100,000% where I stand on this. Like there's some things like, oh, Gatorade or Powerade, I don't care which one you like, all right? But it'd be like certain other things like, oh, should we expand drilling here or should we preserve, Florida's natural spring water? I know where I stand on that. So there's many websites like Ballotopedia. That's one where you can find all your local elections, put in your zip code, all the politicians that will be running your local election. Look them up, see where they stand on things, and you can look up their campaign finances. So I like to vote with like teacher unions. So if a teacher union is going one way and I can see a politician is backed by a teacher union, I'll typically go that way. You know, I mean, still look into them a little bit more, but there's definitely resources. Just my area, whatever area, election, and it'll come up because that's very, very profitable for politicians to be able to reach you as a possible voter, a possible supporter.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like people are gonna think I'm way more into politics than I actually am. I'm you know, kind of.
Nah, yeah. That's real. I mean, I think of politics, you just gotta be more so. I think just solidify with stuff that you want and then what you kind of like view the world as. You got your own agenda, you know, so you know exactly what you want. So if you're not actually going out there and fighting for the things that are important to you, then you're kind of wasting your time. You know, I'm not going to follow behind somebody that I just feel like, oh, everybody's going to vote for him and doing that. Well, I'm just going to vote for him. You know, even if I vote for the small guy, like my vote is counting towards something that I believe in, not necessarily something that I'm just trying to, you know, follow what everybody else is doing. So, you know, you got to pick up the pieces on your own. You know, you got to do your own research and kind of just download yourself with that information so that you can become a little bit more successful in the things you're trying to accomplish in the world, you know. It's just small things. Small things become big things, and big things become successful, and then that's just how everything just pretty much grows from there. So, you know, just understand what you want, what you value. Values in life are the biggest things. What do you value? Do you value time? Do you value, you know, just personal things? Do you value family? Do you value experience? Do you value work? Like, find out what you value, and then you can move forward from there, you know, and have your own perspective. Yeah.
Can we make this funny? Let's make this funny. So say that we going to vote. It's two people that we finna vote for. Now y'all tell me who y'all finna vote for. So we got Wacky Bob and Get It Done. Those are the two people. Wacky Bob and Get It Done. Who you voting for?
I mean, what we know about him?
Wacky Bob is Wacky Bob. Get It Done is gonna get it done. It's simple. It's in the name, right? So imagine you were supposed to go vote, but it was raining and you couldn't get through. It was a flood, just like at the but it was the airplane, the airport. And then they say, oh, Wacky Bob won 101 votes to Get It Done 100. You're like, goddamn, I'll be down, right? Because I could have did that thing. That's crazy. Anyways, let's change the subject.
How do y'all feel like about, say, like, you know, your parents, they have a certain career? Like, do you feel that the children, like, they follow after their parents, or do you think most of them, like, go off and do their own thing? Because I feel like in my
good question,
in my personal, like, my dad, I know how he is. Like, he's a hustler. Like, he's a entrepreneur. He has his own business. Like, he does what he does. And then he has the 9 to 5 to keep something consistent. And I feel like I kind of follow after that, because that's how my grandpa was. And I feel like it just came down. Like, my grandpa, he drove buses. Then he did, refereeing on the side, since that was something that he enjoyed, like, with sports. So I feel like with me, like, I've always been working. Like, since I was 16, I got my first job at 16, and I've been working since. But then I have something on the side that it may not be as big, but I have, like, the entrepreneurial, like, type of, I don't know. Because, like, I do hair on the side, kind of. But I feel like I'm not where my dad is. Like, my dad is confident in his craft, and I'm not confident in my craft. So I feel like I haven't expanded because I'm not confident. But maybe I'll get there one day to where I'm confident to get bigger and whatnot. But
do you enjoy doing hair?
I did at one point.
You say you did. That's past tense.
Yeah, because, like, I started doing hair, towards the end of high school, and it was consistent. And I was in Palm Beach. Like, people, they'll be like, okay, I need my hair done. I'll go to them. I feel like it was more convenient because I would go to them instead of them coming to me. We moved to Point St. Lucie, and now nobody really wants to come to Point St. Lucie, get their hair done. I mean, I had one consistent client. I don't know if Charmaine gonna watch this, but shout out to Charmaine, because she keeps, like, she'll come every month. She'll be like, Tori, you available, yada, yada, yada. And I'll do her hair a drop of a dime, because I know Charmaine, she gonna come, and it's the same thing every time.
Right.
So it's like, since I haven't been consistent, I don't have as much passion for it. When I was consistent, I had passion. It was like, okay, I'm getting in, I'm getting money, my own money. I don't have to worry. I'm not working on nobody's clock. And I set my price for what I think it's worth, and I'm making money for something that I like. But now it's like, I don't know.
So is the consistency the main thing that is the, I guess that's what's driving you to do the hair? If it's more consistent, I'm getting more money, or is it just like I actually like just like doing it?
I can say it's a little bit of both. Cause I do my own hair as well. So I've always liked doing hair. So doing other people's hair was a plus to make money.
Right.
So like with the consistency, I guess like seeing the constant income of doing hair and it being something that I like and not feeling like I'm working, it was something that I like.
Yeah, but they always say if you feel like you're working, then you might not
Be something for you.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, that's just what life is about. Just trying new things and just testing stuff out. But continue to do it until you feel like it's just not it. But you said a good point though. With just like the hustle aspect that your dad have and he passed that on to you. Sometimes in life we pass things down through generation that are actually like quality things. But then on the flip, we pass down a lot of stuff that's actually not, so you just got to figure out what's like meant for you. Because what's best for your dad is probably not what's best for you. And vice versa, like it probably is. You just have to figure it out yourself by just trying. 3 little letters, But yeah, sound pretty cool though.
Growing up, I always wanted to be like this little princess, like, y'all take care of me, and I want to still spend the money, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I get it, like, I have 2 jobs now. I teach VPK and I have another job. So I know that I need money myself in order to do what I want to do. And that's what I do. And sometimes I do hair too. And you have a real passion for it. But mine's not a passion. It's just that I know that I'm going to get some money. So I'm finna do it right quick so I can go do what I want to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I actually had this little boy in my class. It's like no matter what I do, I try to teach him something. But he will not learn it. He doesn't know unless I put it to music or something. Come to find out, his dad's a DJ and has a whole little thing in his house. So with that being said, that kind of goes with what you were asking a little bit. Like, all he knew growing up was his dad and music and all that. This is first time in daycare and pre-K. So now the only way to teach him is what he know already is the music. That's how he learned how to write his name, writing, right, to music, right? That's crazy. But spell his name, be confident, ABCs, numbers, all that. So it kind of goes hand in hand with your family or your mom and dad and what they have. Yeah, because I don't know. I see my mom go to work every day. I see my dad go to work every day. That made me feel like I want to go to work every day. You know what I'm saying? So I can get what I want. My mom and dad have nice things, so I'm like, ooh, I need to go to work so I can get some nice things. Cause I like nice things. Ask anybody. I spend money.
Girl, me too.
Real bad, real bad. Now I just need to learn how to save money like my mom. But other than that, like, it goes hand in hand. Cause what if we were growing up and your people didn't do what you seen them do? You probably be just chilling back like, I got by. You know what I'm saying? But it might not be like that. You might sit back and be like, I don't want to be like that. So you never know. It goes hand in hand.
I feel like it depends. Because me, as their oldest, I feel like I'm very different from how they show me how to do things. I mean, I feel like, not that I'm not a hustler, because, I'm going to always have a job. But it's just like, I don't know, I have a different look on life.
What's your look on life?
That's a great question.
Which is totally fine. You got a different look on life.
I feel like her look on life is like being free, like not feeling captive to something. Like
I am so in the moment.
She gonna do what she wanna do, and like if the decision that she make right now like affects, like she'll be okay with it. Like she'll keep going regardless.
I am very carefree.
Yeah, that's a good.
I really don't care.
Do you feel like you have self-agency?
Do I have what?
Self-agency. So pretty much you're pretty much like the pilot or the captain of your own ship. Like you making the decisions on your own and not like pretty much affected by what other people are saying or adding to you. Like, all right, I'm making this decision because like I am choosing to make this decision, not because like
somebody else or like
or I'm driven to
I feel like earlier in my life, maybe that's how I am. I'm trying to learn not to do that, though. I'm trying to take control of myself and make decisions that make me happy.
You know what's so crazy? If I make plans that we're gonna be there by 1 o'clock, and y'all say, "Oh, let's stop for slushies," I'm gonna be so mad. I'm be real mad because I like to be by the book. I'm be like, "No, we have plans at 1 o'clock. I don't want to do this. We said we going ATV riding. No, that's so crazy." So I don't know if we can ever hang out. I'm sorry. It's okay. Yeah, man. I like to be by the book. Like I planned this whole weekend, and if it don't go back if it don't go as I
mean,
expected
it's a lot of people. Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
come
that.
back home.
What's the fear? What's the fear in like things not happening as you plan it?
Man, I already put my deposit down for this shit. Man, we going.
Okay.
I lose shit.
I can understand that. 'Cause, like me, I wouldn't say controlling, but like I like to have control of what goes on in my life. So if something doesn't go my way, I feel like I don't know, like something in me like triggers, I guess, like when something doesn't go my way, or if I'm not in control of the situation. I don't know. So I can understand that.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, I am carefree. But if we have plans and those plans don't go accordingly, it's a bad day for everybody. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna be pissed off by my $50 deposit. How you feel about it?
No, I'm very on time. I'm like early. Like I hate being late. I don't know.
Facts.
Like I feel like being late, not all the time, but like sometimes it's low key like disrespectful. Like dang, you did not care about that person's time. Like you just made that person wait. So, like growing up, to all my parents were like, hey, like be early. And my dad used to tell me like, if you're on time, then you late.
If you on
Guess
time,
who's the most late person I know?
if you early, then you on time.
You wouldn't believe the most late person I know is my father, right? Right? You wouldn't think that we were late here, weren't we?
Yeah.
Right. So, but I do apply that to like everything else. Like I hate being late because I feel like, dang, you just sitting here waiting. I wasted your time. Like even if it's like 5 seconds, and even if that person's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's just me. I wanna value your time because I would like for you to value my time. You know, not even that like we gotta hurry up and go do something. It's just that like we said we would do this at this time. You know, some of my friends just be late, and that's cool because I just know they're gonna be late. But like that's cool because we're already cool. Like if that's like my first time meeting you or whatever, like you know, kind of like that's like a first impression. I'm like, oh, you just like you're not a really well put together person.
I ain't hanging out with you no more.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like it ain't gotta go all my way. I can understand that though, because I'm a big planner. I love to like, we're gonna do this and then this and then this and then this and then this. But if we don't do all that, I'm like, as long as I get like what I want, low key.
Ain't no shame in that.
Yeah. I'm the
That's all
only
that matters.
child here, so I'm the only one that like, I wasn't spoiled in like the regular way that people think of only children. Like I got everything I wanted, but more importantly, everything ran on my time. You know, like okay, I want to do this thing now. We're gonna do this thing now, right? I want to do this. There was no like, well, let your sister, let your brother. Nah, it's Keon wants to do this thing. I'm gonna do this thing now, you know. And I still do that now. I don't know, that's a bad habit. Like you said, you spend a lot.
Yeah.
If I want something, my auntie messed me up. She said my auntie makes good money, and she said, well, if I want something, I buy it. I don't make good money, but I still applied that like thinking to like things that I bought. So
that goes to what I said earlier. Like the things that work for the older, like somebody in the generation above, necessarily probably won't work for you. You know, like you might just not be there yet.
I'm not there at all. But I don't know. She be helping me out for real. So it helps. You know, it's like, hey, can I get this outrageously expensive thing? She's like, here, but I want a Rolex when you get. About 5-10 years down the line.
Yeah.
I thought Rolex was like 5,000. I didn't know that was like 20.
Yeah, this is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Plain Jane.
I'm about to put that on layaway or something.
I don't think they do that for Rolex. Rolex, I need everything up front.
I don't know. You can't take all that out my account at once. Something will trigger.
You're like, what's the cheapest one?
Yeah. Wells Fargo ain't gonna like that. Like you don't be rolling this big.
They gonna be like, what's this fraud? Don't even tell.
Yeah, that ain't going through.
You gotta be like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Then text back later. Nah.
Nah.
Dispute the charge.
Right.
I don't want to cut everybody off right now. We actually talking about some real cool stuff. But I kind of want to see what everybody's music taste is like right now.
I was thinking that.
Like, I feel like, our dad's not on the show, so we can kind of talk about some real cool stuff that we listen to right now. I know they kind of put their stuff on repeat from the 90s and early 2000s, but, we going to, kick it off. So everybody just pretty much just say what they listen to, what they comfortable with. If you feel like sharing like some stuff that you think that people not going to really like, dive into, feel free. But I know I ain't holding nothing back when it comes to music, so y'all feel free to, say what's on your mind. Who y'all think is a good artist, what y'all listen to the most. Who you think don't get enough credit, who sucks, who doesn't suck. So I'm interested to find that out.
You know what's so crazy? I love to sing gospel music. I love to sing R&B music, but when I'm in the car, I'm pulling up to church. I don't care. I gotta listen to my young boy. I gotta listen to all that stuff. Yesterday, I pulled up the choir rehearsal. I'm listening to young boy. I'm in that thing like, hey, the pastor outside on the phone like, who is that?
It's a parade inside my CDA.
Hey, pastor, how you doing? I don't care what y'all say about young boy. I don't care. I love him through all his phases. Right now, I think he gothic or something. I don't care. My favorite song from that album is Black. And we gonna have to play that before we leave, but
I don't know about that. I mean, I listen to Young Boy though. See,
don't be
but who wanna go right now?
I don't know. I feel like my music is like everywhere. I kind of blame my dad for that, but like I listen to everything from like rap to like the hard rap, like people say like trap music or whatever, to like R&B to like old school. I don't know. I don't have like like specific. I feel like it depends on my mood, to be honest, or like what I'm doing. Like she said, when she driving, I like to listen to that kind of music when I'm driving. I feel like it make me
get there faster.
Yeah.
Go 15 miles per hour over the speed limit.
Don't tell my daddy that, but yeah, like I don't have a specific like nothing. My music taste is everywhere. I listen from anything to J. to J. Cole to what is it? What's the group? I can't think of the group. Like the old school boy groups.
Like Boyz II Men,
Yeah,
stuff like that. Temptations.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name.
It's just
but, like,
my
anything,
imagination.
like I'll hear it, like he'll play music sometimes. I'll be like, oh, I know that song, so I add it to my playlist and it'll just play. Yeah.
Okay, so respectable.
My music taste is all over the place as well, and I also blame my father. I won't get into everything I listen to. I mostly listen to R&B. Please don't hit me when I say this, but
Yeah.
What you about to say?
one of my favorite artists.
What's so funny?
Stop. Is Daniel Caesar.
Oh,
I'm
He apologized.
sorry.
He apologized.
I don't care.
I don't know. I heard that apology
what he
wasn't
did?
that
What he
good.
did?
I don't know specifically what he did. I just know black women are really upset with him. And so that's just where I
guess
have to
he
separate
won't be
the
getting
artist
them.
from his craft because his music is really good.
Yeah,
Come on, y'all.
I think he got that song "Get You" right.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He just came out with a new album. Apparently, it's really good.
I ain't listening.
I haven't
is.
even listened to it.
I've
man.
listened to it.
I
It's
haven't
really
listened to it, but I
good.
heard
Really?
it's extremely good.
Dang.
He did apologize though. I will to make you feel better.
Well, what did he say in the apology?
So
That's what I'm saying.
No, he straight up apologized. He was like, I was wrong. Like I was like, I don't
What
know,
did what did he do?
He
What
was
did he
okay.
say?
So he was caping for this white girl. This white girl was wilding. Da 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 da. Right. And he was like, "Oh, why we beating up on the white woman?" And it was like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" Like he was just doing too much. He was like, "Oh, you guys want to cancel me? Cancel me." Everybody said, "Okay." And his streaming numbers went down because like he wasn't that like he not.
I mean, but-
he not Kanye. Like
But when you see when I listen to Daniel Caesar, I'm like,
he make good music. He
yeah,
make good
but I'm
music.
like, I'm pretty sure he probably got a
Fantastic
white
music.
woman.
I mean,
He look like
In my opinion,
I will separate the artist from his
reality.
His music.
music. That's
he did apologize if that does make you feel better.
I mean, a lot of people apologize.
That's true.
A lot of people apologize
That's
for
true.
things that
That's
they done
true.
done, and that was terrible.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That,
I
you know.
made the kids at my school apologize all the time. Why did you hit Billy? Go say sorry.
I mean, John F. Kennedy apologized, kind of. You know, he cheated,
Oh yeah.
and he was the president of the United States, and walked away like it was nothing. So, apologies nowadays kind of don't mean nothing if it's like no work behind it. So if like Daniel Caesar's like working behind it, maybe
Yeah,
like
that's true.
giving some complimentary like tickets out and like you know
Or giving
being
some money.
being like actually going to places where like most of black people like are and performing there, like performing Watts, not Iowa. You know what I mean? Like performing those Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like so, places that like
But
are
do
gonna
think
get
people
you.
want to go there?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just
Definitely
on
not.
how you. I mean, he's an artist, so like he has to be able to do that himself, like market himself and put himself out there to become something like that. Like it's two sides of the street; it ain't just one. So if I'm driving on this side, but something else got to be moving on this side for it to consider it to be two streets. Oh Lord, what was that? But yeah.
Poncho, no. Oh, the thing is me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with y'all on like it being all over the place. But if I had to just like say one person that I've been into, just very consistently for like the past 2 years, Brent Fayez.
Oh yeah.
Very
For sure.
easily like.
If you ain't nasty, don't add me.
No, I love Brent.
I've
so,
been
so much.
working all day.
But I listen to like I'm with y'all like it's all like Babyface Ray if it's or like Rio the Young OG.
Oh, bro,
if it's, like,
Babyface, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, wait, I like this
if,
dude.
if it's like and then
I like him.
I'll have stuff all on the other side.
Well, you gonna get me started, Babyface? I'll rap a whole verse right now. Don't
goodness.
say that. Stop. I'm in the mood.
He's also like super hilarious. Oh, and Lil Tyler, bro. I've been listening to a lot of Lil Tyler.
Okay.
Yeah, cause I don't know, cause
I want a Jada Witt and that Ruby Road.
bro, cause I went to FSU, so when he was like, I'm in Tallahassee, FSU on with the Seminoles, I was like, or like whenever people like we at the Waffle House, we on Tennessee, like I'm like, yeah, I live like right off Tennessee, like I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But he's like 16, like he's like 16, 17 or something like
15,
that.
16,
Yeah, he's like
yeah.
he's mad young. Like I used to like pass by his high school all the time because my like a lot of my friends went there, like my friends from Tallahassee. So it's just like it's weird when like like he talking about da 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 and I see da 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 da, like that's so like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's different whenever you know exactly what an artist is talking about. Like that's why I understand why.
Closeness.
Yeah, a lot of those like '90s rapper like New York. Like I understand in part why that was so big because like me moving to Brooklyn and like looking around and stuff. Like I see all the streets. Like whenever Tribe told me some on the Boulevard of Linden, and I'm looking over. I'm like, oh, there's Linden Boulevard. Like yeah, like if I lived over there, I'm going up. Like this is my jam. Like oh okay. Like whenever you see like that kind of crossover, it does make you want to listen to that just a little bit more. Like oh, that's where I be. You know, like even if like I'm not from Tallahassee, I won't like pretend like I rep Tallahassee or whatever. But I spent a significant amount of time there, so it's like
that's real.
like I kind of relate a little bit more with the music. I want to see him win a little bit more, just because I have like whatever connection.
No, that's
to the
real.
music.
I mean, I ain't from Miami, but when Rick Ross talk about Biscayne, and I'm like down there for spring break, and I'm on Biscayne. I'm like, oh, this is what he's talking about? I mean, it's a CVS over here, but I don't know. I don't see so many drop tops driving around with a fat boy with the titties out. So you know what I mean? You know.
That's I used to be embarrassed about being from Florida because I like the. I don't know, like the stupid memes, like Florida man does
the
this and
stereotype.
All right. We gotta stop that.
Bro,
Florida man does not. I'm gonna say this, and I don't know how
Speak
like
on it,
people are
speak
gonna
on
take it.
Speak on.
But Florida man does not relate to the black community, in my opinion. When you say Florida man, is always like somebody else on the other side doing some crazy stuff, like wrestling alligators and.
You ain't never
And
seen no black
do-
people wrestling no alligator.
when you see a Florida man like thing going across the news, it's never about somebody black. I just want to throw that out there. Sorry if you don't agree with me. That's cool. We can agree to disagree. But when I think about Florida man, I do not think about my black people. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
They made us like that since the scary movies. Like we going towards it.
Never. Never.
You dying
I'll see
first.
y'all later.
Yeah.
You the smartest one, but you dying first.
Bump that. No, yeah. We used to, and then like I started like being proud. Like I guess music kind of helped me be proud. Like, like trick daddy, like, oh, y'all know each other, like, and also like going to college, like, for real, being around like white folk who just like,
you know what? Let's talk about college.
Who was just about like they grew up in a cul-de-sac and they know their cul-de-sac and they haven't been anywhere, don't know anything, like, not to like, I don't know, just to like add perspective, like being like having South Florida culture, but also like I'm really into like art and stuff like that. So like I've been like 20 something like art museums, like something crazy, but like having like all these other like tastes for life, and then like being around a lot of these like white people that like ain't never did. I'm like, dang, you don't know this, you don't know that, you don't know this, you don't know, and they just like, no, I know Taylor Swift, and it's like, dang, like that's it, like
yeah.
I mean, I know Taylor Swift too, like, you know, some of her songs jam, you know, but it's like it's so crazy to see people that's like only know their circle and that's it, and they don't care to know anything else. They're like, I'm okay with knowing my circle.
I mean,
and that's it, and that's fine if that's how you rocking. But it is kind of weird to me because for us, we're kind of like, when you're black and you have the minority culture, you're kind of forced to at least know some of the majority culture. Mm-hmm. But like, you'll like, I'll be talking about like Florida staples, like for songs, like staples, and they've never even heard of these artists ever because they don't have to know black culture, like, because they can just stay in their bubble, listen to like, I don't know, Morgan Wallen and Keith Urban, and
I just found out about Morgan Wallen, one of my clients.
I'm not a
country
fan.
singer.
Not a fan.
I know.
I like Rascal Flatts.
Now we're getting somewhere.
What?
But like, you know, it's so crazy. I'm like, bro, they've never like had to be anything. They never had to absorb anything else, and then they get that culture shock when they get to college. I'm talking about something real specific, so I really hope people. Okay, so I'm in like a fraternity,
Me
and
too.
but mine's like different. Mine's a co-ed community service fraternity, so we don't have like a house. We won't be stepping on that.
Okay,
but like it's a lot. It attracts a lot of white women who have zero conflict resolution skills, and they only know how to solve conflict through a system. So whenever that system isn't like being upheld, so like let's say they have a problem with somebody, they'll try to talk to the people within the fraternity to solve that problem. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, the problem is y'all just need to punch somebody in the face, like. Not like real deal punch somebody in the face, but y'all need to have that like we just gonna have to go at it. We just gonna have to like argue it out. We don't have to talk it out, whatever. But they've been so protected by the system. They're so used to telling on the teacher. They're so used to getting their parents to go, oh, go do that.
Because
all that.
that's the way that their parents did it.
Right.
That's the way that their parents before them did it.
Yeah.
That's the way that their parents before them did it. Yeah. So it's like all that stuff is being passed down.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like the repeated thing. That's why we always be like, man, like, we're in 2022. Why are we still going through this? Or we're in 2023. We're in 2020. We're in 2020. Every year we saying the same thing. Oh, we're in this year. Why are we still going through this? Because, like, people are getting taught the same exact way.
Yeah.
People are getting, like, they're learning the same exact things. Mm-hmm. They're responding to certain situations the same exact way. Yeah. There's not, like, a real big gap in change between certain generations. And, like, times are changes. Nothing is the same. Like, literally, my dad probably can tell you in 1996 and the early 2000s it wasn't what it is right now. You know, so, like, the way he grew up is not necessarily the way that I'm growing up. So, like, everything that he did, I don't necessarily have to do. Like, I can learn from what they've done, and I can build off of that.
Right.
Or I can use what they've done and make it better.
Yeah. But,
like, I don't have to do it exactly how they do it, because then I'm going to be in the exact same spot.
Yep. Yeah.
And if I'm in the exact same spot when things are advancing, then I'm going backwards.
Yeah, like that's one thing I want to do is just like build off of like everything my parents have given me, and like everything, like, because I'm like really fortunate like for like a lot of my situations. So I'm like, man, like I just can't. I gotta have that for my kid. You know, if I do decide to have a kid, like, you know, whoever, like, you know, I just gotta have that for the next people down, you know, because if you're not making life better, that's why I don't understand, like, these grumpy like 50, 60-year-olds are just like, oh well, if we make things better, then life is gonna be easy for them. Like, why would you not want life to be easy for the next? Isn't that the entire point?
Yes.
Like, we didn't go, oh well, we didn't have medicine when I was a kid, so you just get to die from the bubonic plague.
Why you think the Neanderthals made tools and wheels? It's for them to continue to be Neanderthals? Like, no, like they wanted to be better.
Yes.
You know, they wanted to use something that's going to advance them. Like, the world is all about advancement. right? It's either you moving with us or you getting stuck behind.
Yeah.
And like a lot of us, like in the black community, we always fall beneath that thing. One, not only it's not our fault all the time. One, because of what America like systematically does to us, and then two, what we do to ourselves. We don't have to stay that way. But it starts up here, mentality. Like, do you have the self-agency to go out there and be like, all right, like, I know I want to be a businessman. I don't want to work for nobody, but I know this is what I have to do for right now for me to set up my future, and not, like, take that as, like, a slap in the face. Like, use them to get what you want, not fight them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can fight them in certain situations, but I'm going to use your ass, too. Excuse my language. But I'm going to use your ass, too. Like, you using me, so I'm using you. I know how to get what I need. My family got to eat too. Like my future kids got to have a future that's they can depend on to be at least like, you know, geared to be successful. Like not automatically starting off and like, all right, you done already. Like a lot of us in our generation start off like that. All right, you in middle school, you in high school, we already systematically placing you where you're supposed to be. Like have your own voice, have your own mind, learn something. Knowledge is power. You know. But
yeah,
you gotta keep growing.
No, I agree. I feel like when people don't have conflict, that's when they like freak out. Like that's why. I mean, low key, I've had this theory for a while. I think that's why Karens exist, and that's why Karens are very specifically always white women who don't have like stay-at-home moms because they've financially cared for. You know, they everything else is like set for their life. But the human spirit craves conflict. Human spirit wants to overcome something. So you have to perceive a gripe. You have to perceive somebody bumping into you. Oh, sorry. You have to perceive that as an attack on your person. You have to do something. So right now, you know, we all, you know, we got jobs. We're all striving for something. So therefore, we don't need to make up conflict. We have conflict. Now, whether that conflict doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something. Like going to work every day and paying your bills. That's a conflict. You know, if you don't go to work, you can't pay your bills. So that's immediately like punishment. Mm-hmm. If Karen does not go to work, she's fine. Everything's done. She has food at home. Her kids are typically older, 15, 16, so she doesn't really have to take care of them. More of an empty nest. They don't really talk to her because they don't like her. But, you know, like, so she has nothing in her life that's going on. There's no conflict. I must create conflict. I must create a problem. That's why they go and seek people. That's where they go, you can't park here. Why does that bother you? Because she has nothing else going on in her life. You know, if you wouldn't notice somebody can't park somewhere because you got to go to bed because you got a shift tomorrow. Right? You know, and you don't have to deal with none of that. Like, you know, you're not busy looking for something. I need something. I need some kind of conflict in my life. So I think that's like why a lot of Karens tend to be the same exact kind of person. Like, they don't really tend to be a lot of minorities going through something where they're like, dog, whatever I'm going through, I don't really care that you parked in this spot for 5 seconds. Like, that's not on me right now. I don't care that you stole a candy bar. Like, I don't feel the need to police you right now. I got to get home to my kids because food got to be made, you know. But their kids already reheated the DiGiorno pizza and already finished their homework and went upstairs and was Jimmy's playing video games and Valerie's talking to her friends, and they don't want anything to do with mom, you know, because then that woman has set herself up to where the man is making the money, and if that's your situation, fine, but that's why you need something in your life, whether you're going to start going to volunteer, whether you start your own charity, whether you know, feed ducks, you need something. You can't just be running errands and like not really doing nothing all your life. That'll drive you crazy. That'll literally drive you nuts to the point where you use racial slurs in a Rite Aid parking lot. You know, now you viral, you know, and now your kids gotta be like, oh, she's so sweet, I promise. You ain't talked to your mother 4 days, and you don't know what she is. But you know, I feel like a lot of that stuff happens. Like, you know.
Let's talk about viral.
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
Oh, you could have went.
No, you're good.
Cause I was gonna say like, kind of like what he was talking about, like the race thing. Like, I went to a majority white high school, so I feel like I know how to code switch in a sense. Like, I grew up in the hood, so I know like black people how black people act, And then I have the white aspect. Like if I get around white people, I know how to change my tone to be like, oh, I'm around a white person, sound a little, you know, like, I don't know, like proper, I guess you could say, whatever word you want to use. But I don't know. I just felt like that kind of related to what he was talking about, like having a code switch or like growing up a certain way, you see how they do things, and then you grow up a certain way, and like they don't have to deal with that. They'll never have to see something like that or hear about something like that, but then they go home and everything's perfectly fine, and they don't have to worry about the certain situations that someone like me or other people like me would have to go through, being that they're privileged or they're, you know.
That's real.
The thing about it is you don't even notice you're doing it. Me and Tori used to work at the same place, and she used to call me out on it, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I talk like this and I act like this, and it was like, no, you don't. Like, this is not you. You're a totally different person when you talk to a certain demographic of people than when you talk at home or when I'm with my friends or something like that.
I mean, but that's beneficial though. At the end of the day, like, of course not. You're not gonna go to work and like talk to your boss like you talk to your friends. That's just how it is, you know. Like, I personally, code switching this thing is probably one of the most important things to even have. Like, that's a skill in my opinion. Like, if I go to work, if I'm around certain people that like I know for sure aren't on the same like level as me, but like I have to be in the same vicinity as them, then I will, okay. Like I know I'm gonna know how to play my hand. Like, we all get our cards and you just gotta play them a certain way. If I'm around people that I'm comfortable with, my friends, so I'm gonna be a certain way because like I know them a certain way. Like, I'm not buddies with like my employees or my coworkers and stuff like that. So it's a professionalism at the end of the day on certain aspects. If I don't know you at all, then you're not gonna get the same me as somebody that known me for 5 to 10 years, you know, because me personally, I'm not gonna open up or give you that side because I don't know you. I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know how you're gonna react, you know. So like, it's also, it could be a protective thing, it could be a respect thing, it could be a just professional thing, but then and a small percentage could be something just kind of like holding yourself back from, you know, any hurt or pain or past trauma or experience. So it's a whole multitude of stuff. But for me, like, I can't, code switching is like the number one thing for me. If I'm at work, you're gonna get work with me. You're not getting like outside of work with me because it's not where I'm at.
I mean, that makes sense, and it's very beneficial, but I feel like, I don't know, I want to be comfortable in any space that I'm in. I don't want to feel like I'm pretending to be somebody that I'm not. Mm-hmm. Even if I'm at work, I want to be Yasmin at work. Not that I'm like all over the place or wild or anything, but it's just like, I don't want to feel like I'm just stuck in a box and I can't act how I want to act, if that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. So do you think code switching means you have to be a different version of yourself? I mean, no, let me not say that, because you have to be a different version. So do you think code switching is you being somebody else other than yourself?
That's how I see it. In the spaces that I've been in, code switching is always me becoming somebody totally different than if I'm in another space.
See, me, I see it differently. If I'm code switching, I'm either adding or subtracting something to myself. I'm still me. It's either I'm adding or I'm subtracting. Like,
I like that.
Am I going to be a little bit more attentive and more like, am I going to listen to you a little more? Am I going to engage with you a little more? Or am I going to sit back and just chill and not offer too much of, like, you know, things that I got to say? Because honestly, after work, I don't see you. We don't hang out outside of here. What I say right now probably don't have no deep impact on you. You probably still gonna make the decisions that you want to make anyway. But if it's my close friend, then I have a certain, like, in my opinion, loyalty and obligation to be a certain way, be very direct, be very stern, like let you know, like, yo, bro, you tripping. Like, you should not be doing this. Like, you being a fool right now. But I can't say that to somebody I work with, because, you know, they're gonna just tell the boss on me. You know, so it's not like I'm not being myself. I'm adding or I'm subtracting who I am so that I can, you know, be able to benefit from the situation I'm in. It's all about the environment. If I'm in a good environment, and if I'm at a family cookout, I'm me. Everybody know who the hell I am. Like, they know my nickname, they know my parents' name, they know my grandma's name. But if I'm at work, they don't know shit about me. They just know, oh, he got a degree, or he good at this, he good at that, he work here. You know, like, they don't even know all that extra stuff. You know, so I'm not being different. I'm just not, I'm adding them from subtracting. You know, that's how I view it. You know, we are different.
No, that makes sense. I like that.
In my profession, I feel like the code switch thing does not apply to me because let me tell you why. Me, I'm just like this. This is me. Like today, I was talking to a parent like, I don't know what you're gonna do, but you need to do something. I'm not gonna be like, we had a little biting today, and that's totally fine. No, it's because it's not fine. You need to do something. Do it now. I'm gonna write it up every day, and you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. Like I don't do code switching. Well, with the kids I do, because it's like, oh, Miss L'Ariel, until I go to yelling. Oh, Miss L'Ariel. So I don't know. Like me, I feel like growing up, when I did code switching or whatever y'all call it, they'll be like, girl, why you talking white? Like, why you acting white? Oh, she acts so proper. Oh, she's so, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to go to Jupiter Middle. But we're not even going to talk about it. Like, the girls would be in my face like, oh, honey, we're on to makeup now. You need concealer. You need this. Yeah, we're not doing that. Like, I went to Roosevelt, and it was something totally different. Like, girl, did you try it for this? Like, you know, it's like so different. Like, I don't know.
Worlds.
Yeah, it's different worlds. But I don't want to say, I don't like to associate code switching with like whites. And I don't like to associate being proper as white. That's what most people go to. Like, oh, she's being proper. Oh, she's doing this. And they consider it as white. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why they do that. But maybe it's like a respect thing for me. Like, maybe we can associate code switching with respect. Like, because I know if I go to my grandma, I'm not going to be like, man, they had me, you know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm just gonna be like, hey, grandma. Like, you know, the little sweet stuff. Like, that's not me being white or proper. It's just a respect thing. So that's what I like to associate code switching with, because it can easily be differentiated or changed to make it look like you're trying to be white. If you know what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But not saying that's my opinion of it. I'm just saying, like, most people consider code switching as you're trying to be proper, or you're trying to be white, or you're trying to be somebody that you're not, when in all reality you're just trying to give a certain amount of respect. Should I drop the mic?
You can't drop the mic. It's like standing straight up. You're gonna break it if you drop it.
I'm just saying. I did that one. Yeah.
Introducing the official Hits, Cuts, and Bruises podcast online store, exclusively on tenettree.com. Show your love for your Hits, Cuts, and Bruises fans by rocking our stylish, high-quality merchandise. From hats, t-shirts, to hoodies, we got you covered. Just head over to tenettree.com/HCB to browse our exclusive collection. Order now and get ready to be part of the Hits, Cuts, and Bruises podcast family.